Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
What a homecoming after going farther into space than any human has gone before. The 4 astronauts, including Canadian Jeremy Hansen, are back on Earth. Tonight, the dramatic end to a historic moon mission that captivated the world.
Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
A 10-day journey with a trip around the far side of the moon. The deep space adventure, a Canadian first.
We have this on board.
The legacy of Artemis II and the future space exploration. High-stakes peace talks. Iran and the U.S. prepare to meet to extend a shaky ceasefire.
If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
As ships remain stalled in the Strait of Hormuz. The summer hiring slump.
It has been quite hard, to be honest.
Why this job market is especially hard for young people.
From CBC News, this is The National with Ian Hanemansing.
This is an incredible night for NASA's Artemis II mission. After spending just over 9 days in space, then blasting through the atmosphere at blistering speed, the astronauts on board the Orion spacecraft are now back on Earth.
Jubilation here in the flight control room. The first crew member is out of Integrity.
Their re-entry managed risk, but picture perfect. They splashed down tonight in the Pacific Ocean and emerged from the spacecraft safe and sound. After medical checks, they head to NASA's Johnson Space Center and eventually into the arms of their loved ones. This was a history-making trip, awe-inspiring for so many people, and so to have it conclude in such spectacular fashion is a relief and adds to the excitement. Paul Hunter takes us through the splashdown and all that came before.
And we have a great view of the moon out window 2. Looks a little smaller than yesterday.
For the final time from deep space on this journey, hello to Earth. From those who'd been around the moon and now almost home.
And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere.
With that, the Artemis II astronauts, 3 Americans and Canada's Jeremy Hansen, began their extremely risky re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, strapped in for the intense G-force, the capsule traveling at 32 times the speed of sound, but slowing rapidly.
And it'll suddenly get heavier and heavier and heavier. They'll be getting now crushed with 3 or 4 times their weight, where it's hard to even lift your arm up, and it feels like your eyeballs are being crushed.
Meanwhile, the intense heat generated by re-entry blocks all radio communications. This NASA animation shows what it looks like for 6 long minutes. Fears that the heat shield would not hold were in the dark thoughts of all who waited. This is the burnt shield from Artemis I in 2022, a deeper burn than anyone expected. Artemis II cutting a slightly different path into the atmosphere, in theory to ease the burn, but would it hold?
The pyros are armed for
it
forward
did.
bay cover jettison.
6 minutes later, high in the sky off the coast of California, parachutes. They'd made it. As the capsule drifted downward, the 4 on board surely relieved, surely considering what they'd just accomplished.
Booster ignition and liftoff.
That perfect liftoff, the bonding in space, the 2 flags on prominent display. Yes, the floating Nutella and that newfangled yet untrustworthy toilet. But mostly the reason they left Earth in the first place, to see this, up close, the far side of the moon. Their photographs, jaw-dropping. Their experience, a testament to human determination.
So y'all, we did it. We sent 4 amazing people to the moon and safely returned them to Earth for the first time in more than 50 years. To the generation that now knows what we're capable of, welcome to our moonshot.
The trip itself, a test run for future missions, aimed at putting astronauts not simply around the moon and home, but on it by 2028. A goal now ever more real because of the 4 astronauts on board that capsule, drifting down,
Splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
and lifting up all who cheered them on. Now safely back. Mission achieved.
In short, Ian, it all went
perfectly. A remarkable ending to a historic journey. 4 astronauts, including Jeremy Hansen and his proudly sported Canadian flag shoulder patch, got it done. What a night. What a trip.
Sure was. You mentioned future missions. Paul, lay out what comes next in the Artemis program.
Yeah, lots more to come, Ian. This is now NASA on rocket fuel big time. So more missions to the moon, more Artemis. Artemis 3, 4, 5, 6, and beyond. Some missions are more defined and with specific planning underway, others less so. Artemis 3, the next one, is to test docking with a moon lander. That's set for next year. Artemis 4, planned for early 2028. Feet on the moon again. Incredible as that may seem. And they want to go gangbusters. Artemis 5, beginning to build a moon base. It all started with this mission. It worked. So from NASA's perspective now, it's off and running.
We watched the launch together, close to where the rocket took off. Just watched the splashdown. What will stick with you, do you think, from this mission?
Yeah, look, I mean, seeing amazing photos of the far side of the moon, that's worth the price of admission right there. But I got to say, the 2 flags they hung up, the Canadian and the American one, reminded the world this is an international experience. The symbolism was the future. That's the way forward. And, you know, when Jeremy Hansen read out the Carol Wiseman's first name, when they said they wanted to name a crater after the late wife of Reed Wiseman, everybody cried, including me. I mean, that was a reminder that for all the science, all the space stuff, at the end of the day, these are humans. These are people with complicated, heartbreaking at times lives, but people who are doing this together. It's what humans do. Sorry to get all corny again, but Ian, I think that's what I'll remember.
As always, so well put. Paul Hunter in Washington. Thank you. And right across this country, Canadians were glued to that splashdown moment. Tanya Fletcher now with what the mission has meant to this country.
A collective celebration across Canada as the Orion capsule splashed down.
Really excited and grateful that it went as smoothly as it did.
And they landed it safely, so that's good.
A marvel of engineering, a marvel of teamwork. I'm amazed.
Central to that pride is astronaut Jeremy Hansen, the first Canadian to venture into deep space. The past 10 days, surreal for his wife and kids.
Busy day here at home. Busy day up there in space.
Sharing their perspective with the world, as well as private family moments via video chats from space.
Laughter, some tears. He's shown us around the cabin. We've said hi to the rest of the crew because, of course, they're in close confines. But those visits have been really wonderful.
Hours before touchdown, Catherine Hansen spoke with the other astronauts' families, nervous and excited, but also incredibly proud.
It's beautiful to see the way the crew has talked to Canadians specifically and about how Canada has risen to the occasion to make this possible.
For the Canadian Space Agency, it's a culmination of decades of partnership that doesn't end here.
Looking towards the future, we have a number of different concepts for technologies that we'll be sending to the surface of the moon and potentially even to orbit the moon as well, for science, for human exploration.
2 Canadians are active in the NASA Corps right now, including Jenny Gibbons.
Today, for all humanity, you're pushing beyond that frontier. Integrity, over to you.
She was part of ground control for this mission and hopes to head to space herself on future ones. For many, this remarkable achievement, above all, symbolized hope.
This has become a unifying force and a sense of positivity in a world and a humanity that really needs that.
Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle, all 4 crew members now out of integrity.
As this chapter of space history comes to a close. Tanya Fletcher, CBC News, Vancouver.
There's lots more on Artemis II later in the hour. We'll zero in on the mission's key moments and look at what happens to the human body in deep space. That's in about 20 minutes. Delegations from the U.S. and Iran are arriving in Pakistan tonight to try to turn a fraying ceasefire into a functional peace. Cameron McIntosh now on the tough talk and high stakes as the cost to the global economy keeps adding up.
Iran's delegation landing in Islamabad. The regime battered but emboldened. Right now controlling the Strait of Hormuz, with it, global oil markets. U.S. President Donald Trump insisting the strait will fully open, with a veiled threat on the eve of talks with Iran.
They're militarily defeated, and now we're going to open up the Gulf. with or without them.
After weeks of U.S. bombing that killed Iran's leadership and decimated its military, Iran is still blocking about 20% of global oil traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, exerting pressure on the global economy, insisting
it is in our territorial water.
As Israel fights Iran's proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iran's parliamentary speaker posting Iran will only begin talks if there's a ceasefire in Lebanon, along with release of Iran's blocked assets.
This is a highly ideological regime that believes that it's in the driver's seat. It still controls the Straits of Hormuz, still retains this highly enriched uranium.
Trump says allowing Iran to keep that nuclear material is a red line.
What would a good deal look like for you? No nuclear weapon, number one.
Israel continued to pound Hezbollah Friday. It's killed hundreds in airstrikes this week. It's agreeing to discuss a ceasefire with Lebanon next Tuesday, but isn't directly talking to Hezbollah or Iran. At home, Trump is feeling the heat of an unpopular and costly war. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, reportedly skeptical of the war, is leading the talks for the U.S.
If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
While both sides are claiming the upper hand, both sides also want a way out. The only real common ground between the two of them, mistrust. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
As the disruption in Middle East energy supplies pushes up prices, protests in Ireland over high fuel costs have now paralyzed parts of the country for 4 days. Demonstrators, including farmers and truckers, have blocked roads and accessed fuel depots, leading to shortages at more than 100 service stations. The government has agreed to meet with protest leaders to get them to stand down. Another truce in the Middle East, the one in Gaza, is being described by some relief workers as a ceasefire in name only. Sasha Petrusik looks at the dire situation in the territory 6 months after the full-scale war stopped.
In northern Gaza, a mother grieves for her 9-year-old daughter, shot dead at school. Caught in the crossfire, it seems, between Israeli soldiers and militants nearby. There is no safety, Ola Rihan says. We have bullets and tanks and battles. Airstrikes, too. 6 months into Gaza's ceasefire, none of that has ceased.
Allahu Akbar!
Funerals are held almost daily. More than 670 Palestinians dead since last October, according to Gaza health officials. Canadian medic Jody Pritchard.
We're still seeing lots of injuries, and the needs for everyone are just massive.
Aid was supposed to ramp up, but UN agencies say nowhere near enough is making it past the single Israeli crossing.
Many parts of the ceasefire deal seem frozen. There's no sign of a peacekeeping force, and the Board of Peace, assembled by U.S. President Donald Trump, still hasn't stepped in to run Gaza.
The Deputy Special Coordinator in Jerusalem.
Trump's appointed High Representative for Gaza told the UN it's Hamas's fault for refusing to disarm, as it had promised. Hamas says it won't until Israel abides by its promises on aid and withdrawal.
I don't see this era of purgatory for Gaza ending anytime soon.
This analyst says Israel's overwhelming control locks in the status quo.
As long as that reality continues, then Gaza will remain in this state of devastation and de-development.
Standing in endless lines, hoping to get bread. Bakers face a shortage of flour and fuel. Gazans have no money. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Police in Ontario still searching for several suspects tonight after a man was killed and 2 others injured in a shooting in Lambton College in Sarnia, Ontario.
This is a senseless and unnecessary tragedy that will impact so many people.
It happened outside this bar on campus during a student-run event. The man killed was a 20-year-old former junior hockey player. Classes were canceled today, with the college calling the shooting a profound tragedy. 8 people were sent to hospital after a chlorine gas exposure at a public pool in Victoria, British Columbia.
On our initial size-up and assessment, we determined that there in fact was a chemical exposure. We isolated the area and began providing first aid.
City officials say 2 chemicals were inadvertently mixed, creating the toxic gas inside the building, though how that happened is still being investigated. The exposure leaving many coughing and struggling to breathe. The pool will stay closed for now. The Liberal Party's gathering in Montreal as it nears a majority government.
What an honor it is for me to join in my first Liberal convention.
What a majority could mean for the government's agenda and for Canadians. Next.
It has been quite hard, to be honest. A lot of applying, a lot of online applying.
Younger Canadians struggling to get entry-level positions. What's driving the poor job market? Plus,
Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
The successful splashdown of a history-making mission, how it unfolded, and what's next for the Artemis crew. We're back in 2. Prince Harry is being sued for defamation by an African charity he set up to honor his late mother, Princess Diana. Harry co-founded Santa Ballet in 2006 to help young people living with HIV and AIDS. But he resigned from the charity a year ago after a public falling out with its board chair. A spokesperson says Harry rejects what he calls the offensive and damaging claim. The federal Liberal convention is underway in Montreal, and spirits are high after another floor crossing this week. The party's heading into Monday's by-elections just 1 seat shy of a majority. Ashley Burke now with what that win could mean for the party and Canadians.
Newly minted Liberals front and center at the party's convention in Montreal.
And what an honor it is for me to join in my first Liberal convention.
Floor crossers who've pushed the party to the brink of a majority.
Haven't looked back and have slept well every night.
I don't know whether to introduce myself as a recovering conservative or just that I was a Liberal and I didn't know it.
Delegates here watching for signs of another defection, as sources say the party is in talks with more MPs.
I think a floor crossing is it's a legitimate part of our democratic process.
60-year Liberal. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
The Liberals already have more seats than the opposition in the House of Commons, but could reach a majority if they win even one of Monday's 3 by-elections.
I don't think it's time to sort of do victory laps. We've got a lot of convincing to do with Canadians and a lot of work to get done.
2 are considered safe Liberal seats in Ontario. 1 is a tight race in Quebec.
It's going to be a tough battle. The Bloc Québécois really wants to regain this seat.
Liberals say a majority would give them more stability, but are mixed on the immediate impact.
Since January, really, we've seen pretty strong cooperation from the Conservatives. Things are moving through the House in a fairly strong way. So would it change that much right now? I don't know.
Wouldn't take it to the bank that Mr. Poilievre isn't going to change his mind on that. And we've seen the obstruction that has happened within Parliament under Mr. Poilievre for a long, long time. So I do think this provides the ability for the government to actually be thinking forward.
The Liberals here want to up their seat count in the House of Commons as much as possible to turn a likely narrow majority into something more stable. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Montreal.
Backlash is growing in some rural communities over a proposed high-speed rail line between Toronto and Quebec City. The Prime Minister is promising major economic benefits, but as Kate McKenna shows us, those living along the route worry they'll be the ones to pay the price.
I'm the one who's spoiling them.
Farming has sustained Sam Putzel for 50 years.
Oh, look at the peacock. Oh, that's so cool.
She hopes to pass on the land.
This is a good scratch.
To new farmers learning the craft.
It's a way of life. We live together in harmony, the animals and I.
But recently, she got this from Alto, the Crown Corporation working to build a high-speed rail between Toronto and Quebec City. The federal government says it could be transformative and create more than 50,000 jobs.
It is a request to voluntarily participate and in allowing people to come and do an environmental assessment of the farm.
Sparking fears that the train could run right through her farm. She says whatever compensation they could offer would not be worth it.
What would I want with the money when I have everything I could possibly want that has no value in money?
Alto hasn't decided on a route, but has identified a large potential corridor, expected to be whittled down in the coming months.
We attended the info session in Van Cleek Hill and found that we got very few answers to any of the questions that we had.
High-speed rail could put Andrea Glenn's beekeeping company in jeopardy. She's asking Canadians if the price tag is worth it.
We doubt that this $90 billion plan for a rail line that provides marginal speed increases to the select few who can afford to take it and actually have access to it is the right spend of money for Canadians right now.
The federal Conservatives agree.
I think that is ridiculous, and that is why we as Conservatives are opposing that project, and we want to use the savings to bring down taxes, debt, and inflation.
And the Bloc Québécois is warning about expropriations, including in Terrebonne, north of Montreal, where they're trying to win a by-election.
It has to be done properly with the right information, the right analysis for this project.
In a statement, Alto says it's looking to follow existing power lines, roads, and railways to limit disruptions, and that anyone who is affected will be fairly compensated. All part of the push to get everyone on board. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
Our top story tonight, the Artemis astronauts safely back on Earth.
All of our 4 astronauts, Reed, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, green, meaning they are feeling great.
Their journey hurtling home inside a fireball, and
we are able to tap into the infinite renewable energy and to power our planet with extremely low cost.
China makes a big push for renewable energy with wind power, but could it work for Canada? The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. After months of significant job losses, Canada's labour market stabilized last month. March's unemployment rate was 6.7%. That is virtually unchanged from the month before. Canada did add 14,000 new jobs. Those roles nowhere near enough, though, to make up for the more than 100,000 positions that disappeared earlier in the year. As Ina Sidhu tells us, the changing job market has younger workers pounding the pavement.
At this job fair in Calgary, competition is fierce. More than 5,000 young people facing one of the toughest job markets in years.
It has been quite hard, to be honest. A lot of applying, a lot of online applying.
I've applied for like over 100 companies, and so far I haven't found any even for an interview.
High school students and recent grads struggling to land that first job, trying to make the right impression in person.
If I could get in front of an employer, I think I'll be able to articulate myself better.
New job numbers from Statistics Canada show the unemployment rate among 15 to 24-year-olds is sitting around 14%. So far this year, the country lost roughly 95,000 jobs, more than half among young people.
Summer jobs, summer interns, co-op students are probably less of a priority or not being hired this year as they used to be in the past.
One of the challenges for younger workers is Canada's slowing economy. Older workers laid off from their jobs are now often competing with youth for the same entry-level roles.
There are less entry-level opportunities available because more of the senior seasoned staff are forced to take on those responsibilities and have the business operate at a little bit of a leaner level.
This Western wear store is getting ready for its busiest season and has already seen an increase in applicants.
There's a lot of eager kids out there that are wanting to get work.
The job market isn't expected to improve just yet. Employment site Indeed says the number of summer job postings are down 11% so far compared to this time last year. Ina Sidhu, CBC News, Calgary.
Let's get back to our top story, the return to Earth for the crew of Artemis II.
Use integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Back home after a historic 10-day lunar mission, including an unprecedented flyby of the far side of the moon.
We now have 2 crew members out.
All of it vital preparation for a planned moon landing in 2028. but also bringing back crucial data on the biological impacts of deep space.
When you get into space, the fluid shifting and the brain just...
So much to learn from 4 astronauts who traveled farther than any human before them. But before the science, let's check out the mission's dramatic highlights, from launch to splashdown and the milestones in between.
Canada, I am thinking of you, and I am hoping that all of you see your greatness reflected in this journey.
This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity.
Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis II. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon.
From inside the Orion capsule, nicknamed Integrity, first words that all's good in Earth's orbit.
Welcome on board the Integrity spacecraft.
Currently, the crew is more than 100,000 miles from the Earth.
You can see the entire globe from pole to pole. You can see Africa, Europe. If you looked really close, you could see the northern lights.
I really like it up here. I wish I could have got here sooner.
Artemis II is entering the moon's gravitational sphere of influence as it prepares for its most ambitious feat yet, to travel around the far side of the moon on Monday.
As we prepare to go out of radio communication, we're still to feel your love from Earth. And to all of you, we love you from the moon.
Houston, Integrity, comm check.
Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
We had to take a moment to honor that time, going behind the moon and out of touch with Earth, and that was a very surreal moment for this crew.
That's when the crew made an emotional request to name a new crater spotted on the moon after a part of their astronaut family no longer with them.
We lost a loved one. Her name was Carol, the spouse of Reed, the mother of Katie and Ellie. And we would like to call it Carol.
On board Orion, there were tears and hugs.
Integrity, this is the International Space Station. How do you hear?
I spoke to your Prime Minister and many other friends I have in Canada. They are so proud of you.
Jenny from Mission Control Houston.
A lot of Canadians just want one point of reassurance that the preference is for maple syrup over Nutella on your pancakes in the morning.
Absolutely, sir.
We still have to ensure that Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy return home safely on Friday evening, so we're pretty focused on that.
So we are in good shape here for entry and splashdown as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
Integrity splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time. You can hear it. Jubilation here in the flight control room.
These 4 astronauts who just made history as the first crew to return to the moon since 1972.
Wow. Retired Canadian astronauts Chris Hadfield and Dr. Roberta Bonder were with us as the crew of Artemis II returned home. Here's some of their observations on the successful splashdown.
I feel spectacular. I mean, what a marvelous and dreamed of ending for an amazing voyage for all 4 of those crew members, specifically, of course, for Jeremy Hansen, but from everybody around the world. It is so exquisitely hard to do what they just did. Brand new rocket, nobody had ever flown, brand new spaceship, no one had ever flown it before. And they just made it all look like it was inevitably easy. And they brought the great joy of humanity to the exploration of the moon itself. So I couldn't be happier. And I've been emailing with Jeremy on board. I just can't wait to shake his hand and look into his eyes and hear his stories when he gets back. It's just incredible what we can accomplish when we give ourselves a near impossible task. We get really good people working together, and then we work as a team, international, the European service module, a Canadian as one of the 4 crew members, and all of those pools of expertise coming together to figure out how can we make this work. And the proof is in the pudding here. They had a flawless mission. I mean, if the only thing we're talking about is how to keep the toilet running, that's been a good space flight. And I'm just so pleased for everyone and relieved and delighted. And you said this is sort of the mission drawing to a close. Boy, it really isn't. The data gathering phase, the proof phase is over, but now this is the first of the whole Artemis program of starting to settle on the moon, and all the lessons that need to be drawn out of this, the billion things they've learned over the last 10 days that are now going to be applied to training the next crews, to improving the next vehicle, and to optimizing everything for success. The flight may be over, but Jeremy's work is continuing for a long time and to all really good end. So, yeah, I'm just gushing with delight at how well it went.
We now have 2 crew members out.
Roberta Bondar, what importance do you think is on the shoulders of Jeremy Hansen post-mission?
I think for Canadians, it's important to have a person and not viewed as a man or a woman or any particular gender, but rather as a soul, as someone who represents the best that we have of a generation and a best that we have of an explorer of this type. Someone who has not been able to be upfront of mind 20 years ago. And so people can see that it takes a lifetime sometimes to grow the kind of experience and expertise, and that being a Canadian does not preclude that one can have a background in Canada and one can be trained elsewhere in the world as well and still represent this country. And I think going forward, people will recognize the name and recognize the fact that he was amongst this crew. Now, he wants, and he said, that we don't want this record to stand very long. We want other people to come in and do all these things. And this record will always stand because they'll always be the first ones that went the farthest. And he's not going to be stopped there. He's going to still do things in his life. And whether he leverages this particular mission or what he does from this mission, his future is not written. But we do know that whatever he does, he will carry the torch for Canada always, and that Canadians will be proud of it.
Artemis II through the eyes of 2 former Canadian astronauts. The mission wasn't just an exploration of outer space, but also on the human body's reaction to being there. Eli Glasner breaks that down.
What happens to the human body in space? After hundreds and hundreds of astronauts and all those missions, you'd think we'd know. But there's the effects of the kind of space the International Space Station orbits, and then there's deep space. And that's a big part of what Artemis II is investigating, the effect on astronauts, the radiation, the lack of gravity, the way their brains function, even how they see. Let's start with the biggest danger, radiation.
And they wish us all well and Godspeed.
Circling the Earth for 8 days, Canada's Roberta Bondar would know something about radiation, but on board the International Space Station, it's different.
It's in low Earth orbit, and so mainly we're below the Van Allen belts, or the protective layer of the magnetosphere of Earth, and there haven't been a lot of solar flares or problems with radiation.
But once you leave the protection of Earth's magnetic field, like on a trip to the moon, the danger grows. To measure this, Orion is kitted out with 6 new radiation sensors. In addition, NASA has added Avatar.
We knew this would happen. Everything changed.
Not that one. Actually, it's this. I'll let self-described space nerd and emergency doctor Raj Bhardwaj explain.
NASA loves acronyms. Avatar, for people who don't know, stands for a virtual astronaut tissue analog response. So these little avatar chips, these organ chips, part of what they're doing is that they're drawing blood from the astronauts on this mission, and they're leaving some of it in these organ chips on Earth, and they're taking some of it on the organ chips to space.
Using cells taken from the Artemis astronauts, the organ chip essentially sends a version of their bone marrow into space to examine the effects of radiation and microgravity. And the potential applications aren't just for astronauts, but could make a difference down on Earth.
So for example, if they are developing a medication that protects against the effects of radiation on those little organ chips, then we could take that information and use those types of therapies and therapeutics on people who have to have radiation therapy here on Earth.
A big part of Artemis health research is grappling with the effect of space on the immune system.
We found that on space station, for example, you get reactivation of certain viruses that down here on Earth are basically, they stay quiescent.
Quiescent is another word for dormant. Research has found during spaceflight, some viruses like shingles can reawaken. To track changes, the Artemis astronauts will provide dry saliva samples by blotting special booklets. And then there's the mental aspects. Try to imagine spending 10 days in a spacecraft the size of a minivan.
When you get into space, as I mentioned, with the fluid shifting and the brain shifts, you do feel a little, well, sometimes people don't recognize it, but maybe just a little cognitively burdened.
Enter Archer. Yeah, another acronym. This is basically a space-age smartwatch built to gather behavioral data. Because even though we've been traveling to space for decades, there's still so much we're learning, from how brains and bodies respond to even vision. During the Artemis mission, the astronauts vividly described seeing different shades of colors on the moon.
And hearing some great discussion of browns and greens in the Aristarchus Plateau and how those disappear.
To be able to look at the changes in vision, which is, of course, my subspecialty, and I just found it absolutely fascinating how they describe these things.
As Roberta Bonder discovered, the effects of microgravity on the shape of our eyes may have upsides.
For example, in space, I didn't need my glasses because I was nearsighted. And I just took them off and never put them on again when I was the whole of the space flight. It was great.
Just another part of the puzzle Artemis is hoping to unpack.
Over the next few weeks, the crew of Artemis II is expected to undergo several tests to assess any changes from their time in outer space. Coming up, Beijing's turning to renewable energy, and they're offering it to Canada for a price.
We definitely, we can replicate in Canada.
But what does it mean to integrate made-in-China AI tech into Canada's energy grid? Next.
A renewable energy system is so critical.
A leading Chinese green tech company wants to export its wind power technology to Canada, but not everyone's on board with the offer. Chris Brown looks at China's energy transformation and what it might mean for this country if Ottawa buys in.
For decades, the engine of China's economic miracle was fueled by one thing: coal. But in 2025, a critical threshold was crossed. For the first time, the combined capacity of wind and solar in China surpassed coal. In almost every part of this country, building a new wind or solar farm is now cheaper than running a coal plant.
I think it means a lot. So we are able to tap into the infinite renewable energy and to power our planet with extremely low cost.
Lei Zhang is one of China's renewable energy visionaries. His company, Envision, is the second largest maker of wind turbines in the world. He sees this not as a business, but as a civilizational shift.
The analogy, very similar to the 1,000 years ago, the Chinese paper-making technology. By providing such a technology, we are able to make the cost of knowledge, the book, is extremely low cost. And then everyone is able to share the knowledge.
But there's a catch. The wind is finicky. It comes and it goes. So to build a superpower based on breeze, well, you need a brain.
A smart grid needs more than just a weather forecast. As the network grows to include massive battery storage and millions of homes, the brain has to manage a level of complexity that no human could track.
A renewable energy system is so critical. So then AI is become very important to shaping up the system.
Envision's cutting-edge project is in China's Gobi Desert, where they aren't just making electricity, they're making green hydrogen. It's an off-grid loop where industries can plug directly into the source. And for the rest of the country, rather than using an aging power grid, that clean energy hydrogen is shipped out via a pipeline, providing a low-cost fuel.
So, what does this mean for Canada? Lê Chung has been talking to Canadian figures like Prime Minister Mark Carney. He wants to take his Gobi Desert model, huge AI-managed wind hubs in remote areas, and drop it right into the Canadian wilderness.
On a recent visit to Beijing, Carney said Canada will double its energy grid in the next 15 years.
That creates tremendous opportunities for Chinese partnerships in these investments.
Chung says he's having those discussions with potential Canadian partners now.
We definitely, we can replicate in Canada. So remote is not issue. As long as the wind is blowing, the answer is in the wind.
But if you look at the horizon, you'll see the contradiction. While China builds more wind farms than the rest of the world combined, it's also still approving new coal plants.
Greenpeace China says Beijing remains addicted to coal as a security blanket against power shortages.
I think this is just like China's energy policy today is running on two parallel tracks. So on one track, we can see the rapid deployment and expansion of renewable energy. On the other track, we can still see the coal is getting approved still.
For potential collaborators like Canada, there are other concerns.
If Canada adopts this AI-driven tech, we aren't just buying turbines, we're buying a Chinese operating system for our energy grid.
We've got to protect ourselves against the communist Chinese.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford is among those who argue giving a geopolitical rival a potential kill switch over our energy is a bad idea.
How do you give people confidence that this information and this control is going to be not exploited or used for purposes it wasn't intended to?
Right. So, of course, we need working with local partners. We're working with local regulators. We're working with, fully transparency.
How many wind farms have you seen lately in China? They make the windmills. They sell them to the suckers over in Europe.
Donald Trump may be blowing against renewables, but to Chung, the transition isn't a political debate, it's an inevitability.
It's hard facts. It's not fashion. It will not change by this political wind directions.
The reward is clear. Cheaper, cleaner energy that could power Canada for a century. The risk is becoming dependent on our rivals' AI to keep our lights on.
Canada's hoping a new project will generate 5 gigawatts of offshore wind energy by 2030. The first bids are expected in the coming months. When we come back, a final reflection on the Artemis II splashdown.
A new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
The moment watched by so many across Canada. That's next. We've become familiar with these 4 and their historic journey around the moon. Over the past 9 days, the world has been watching. Tonight, the Artemis crew made their way home. Their mission coming to a close with that dramatic splashdown onto the Pacific Ocean. Before we leave you tonight, here's one last look at that moment.
And we have confirmation of crew module, service module separation. All of Integrity's systems are in great shape. The crew is ready to complete its mission. And there go the first series of parachutes.
We copy, we see them.
This is a perfect descent for Integrity.
Use Integrity splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed. Freed Wiseman out of the vehicle. All 4 crew members now out of integrity.
Excited, ready, anxious, and there you go. We now have all 4 Artemis II crew members on the USS John P. Murtha.
Think of all the people across this country and around the world watching those moments at exactly the same time. People of all ages, some of whom are going to be astronauts, and they're going to say, watching on this Friday night was one of the reasons that they were inspired to do that. A celebration of excellence, of cooperation, of humility, of humanity. It's fantastic. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ian Hannamansing in Vancouver. I'll be back Sunday with Cross Country Checkup and later, The National. See you then.